Today we are back at one of Europe's most exciting cities, Lisbon.
Whether you're a first-time or seasoned traveller, we've got the ultimate insider's tips to make your trip to Portugal's sun-kissed capital unforgettable. From mouth-watering pastries, yes, we're talking about the Pastel De Nata, to hidden spots with jaw-dropping views, we're covering it all.
So pack your sunnies and your sense of adventure and let's explore Lisbon like we've lived here since 2011. What to expect?
Get ready for your first adventure in Lisbon, where old world charm meets a vibrant, trendy city. As soon as you arrive, you'll feel the city's energy with its sun-soaked rooftops, narrow cobble streets and the glittering Tagus River in the distance.
Lisbon is basically a roller coaster ride through history. What to wear?
Packing for Lisbon? Well, think casual, comfy and ready for an adventure. But you must start with good walking shoes. This city is all about the cobblestones and hills, so ladies, any type of heels really just doesn't work in this city. So save the fancy heels for another trip. Be warned though, because when it rains in Lisbon, the paths can become hazardously slippy and become a fall hazard. So if you're traveling during autumn, winter or early spring, make sure that you're definitely bringing flat shoes with a good grip. Lightweight layers are your best friend, as the weather can shift from sunny mornings to breezy evenings. Lisbon can be deceiving because you will wake up and it will be beautiful blue skies nearly every single day that you're in this city. However, remember it is based on the coast, and if you're anywhere near the river, then you will get a whip of the wind coming in, and that wind can be a little bit chilly. Speaking of that glorious sunshine, don't forget your sunglasses and don't forget your hat, because the sun is super strong in Lisbon.
The style vibe in Lisbon is effortlessly chic. No one is going to judge you for what you're wearing. No one really cares. No one's paying attention. So basically, you do you. We are Activities in Portugal and we are a travel company based in beautiful Portugal. If you have any questions about this beautiful city, please don't hesitate to pop them in the comment sections below and we will get back to you. Know the basics.
Do you want to charm the locals? Well, learning a little bit of Portuguese is easier than you think. You can start with a cheerful hola, or follow up with bom dia or boa tarde. Learning the basics of Portuguese is easy and it is really appreciated.
When should you travel to Lisbon?
If you want to see Lisbon at its best, then you should plan your trip for either late spring or early autumn. April to June is like hitting the sweet spot. It's perfect weather, fewer crowds, and everything is in full bloom. June also brings the lively Festas de Lisboa, so expect street parties, grilled sardines, and lots of music. September to early November is another gem to visit. The summer heat mellows out and the city has a relaxed local vibe again. You'll still enjoy plenty of sunshine, but without the summer rush. If you can, avoid the peak summer months, July and August. It's hot, it's packed with tourists. Winter is mild, but some attractions take a break. Also, Lisbon is such an outdoor city that when it rains, there really isn't a huge amount to do. So spring and autumn are your best bets and just right for exploring this magical city.
So spring and autumn are truly the golden times to visit Lisbon. The best areas to stay.
Choosing where to stay in Lisbon is like picking your favourite flavour of ice cream. You really can't go wrong. If you're all about being in the heart of the action, then you should be staying in Baixa or Chiado. These bustling neighbourhoods are filled with shops, cafes and easy access to all the main sites. You'll be steps away from Praça de Comércio and the iconic tram rides. If you're looking for a more local vibes, you can find that in Alfama or Moraria. These are the city's oldest districts and it's all about the narrow streets, fado music and amazing views from hidden corners. It's a little bit quieter but packed with lots of charm. For nighttime lovers, you should hit Barrio Alto where the party is at. By day it's relaxed, but after dark the streets transform into a lively hub of bars and music. If you prefer something trendy, then you should be staying in Principal Real with its chic boutiques, gardens and laid-back atmosphere.
Wherever you stay, Lisbon's charm is just around the corner. How many days should you spend in Lisbon?
Wondering how many days to spend in Lisbon? Well, a solid 3 to 4 days will give you the perfect taste of this city's magic. Explore the charming streets of Alfama, ride the famous Tram 28, and marvel at the castle's views. On day 2, you can head for Belém, visit the monastery, and of course indulge in those legendary Pastel De Nata. By day 3, you'll be ready to roam the trendy shops in Chiado, taking a sunset view from the Miradores, or maybe sip a cocktail in Barro Alto. And on day 4, you can use it to hop on a day trip to Sintra, where the fairy tale castles await.
If you're pressed for time, then you can squeeze in the highlights in 2 days, but a couple more extra days allows you to soak in the relaxed, laid-back, sunny vibes. How to pay in Lisbon? Cash or card? Card or cash? Cash or card?
Paying in Lisbon is pretty straightforward, but there's a few things to keep in mind. In the main tourist areas like Baixa, Chiado and Belém, credit cards and debit cards are widely accepted, so you don't have to worry about carrying a ton of cash. That said, Lisbon still has plenty of traditional spots, especially in Alfama, a small family-run restaurant where they only accept cash. Pro tip is always keep a few euros handy just in case. As for tipping, it's not a huge thing in Portugal. You won't get the side eye if you don't leave one, but if you had a great service, it is a really nice gesture. Wages are low and tax is high in Portugal, so any spare cash that you can provide to a local is appreciated. Also, ATMs are easy to find, so you don't need to carry a wallet bursting with cash. One thing to note is that there are 2 types of ATM machines in Lisbon. There are the ATMs controlled by the banks like Millennium, Novo Banco, and then there are Euro ATMs, which you will find mostly in shops. Try to avoid the Euro ATMs as much as possible because they will kill you on the currency transfer if you're taking money out from abroad. Using the ATMs from the banks is always, always, always a lot cheaper.
How expensive is Lisbon?
Lisbon is the best kind of friend. It's fun, stylish, and easy on the wallet. Compared to other European capitals, it's surprisingly affordable for outsiders, making it perfect for travelers who want a great experience without breaking the bank. You can grab a tasty bifana sandwich or a couple of delicious pastel de natas for just a few euros. A nice meal at a traditional restaurant, you should expect to pay around 10 or 15 for a main course. And in the trendy spots, you will be looking at over 20 euros. Public transport is super cheap. The tram or the metro is just a couple of euros to get around the city. Hotels and Airbnb options, from my point of view, are pretty expensive these days, but you can still find budget-friendly options if you look hard enough. While Lisbon's touristy areas will most definitely bump up the prices, if you go a little bit off course, it's easy to explore without overspending.
In short, if you go off the beaten track, you can find a champagne experience on a lemonade budget. What to be aware of?
Lisbon is a gem of a city, but like any other big city, it comes with a few heads-up moments. First off, keep an eye on your belongings, especially in busy areas like trams, markets and tourist spots. Pickpockets are sneaky, so a cross-body bag or money belt can be your best friend here. Just be mindful and don't make it too easy for them. Lisbon is overall a pretty safe city. There aren't a lot of pickpockets compared to other cities, but unfortunately they still do exist. Just be aware. Also in Lisbon, around the tourist areas, don't be surprised if you are offered hashish or other drugs. Unfortunately, this is just a fact of life now within Lisbon. It's not all the time, and it's usually within Barro Alto or other popular spots where younger people tend to hang out. There isn't real drugs and they aren't actually doing anything illegal, which is why they still are operating, because what they're selling is herbs. They're not actually selling real drugs. So A, don't talk to them, B, definitely don't buy from them. Another issue for me are taxes in Lisbon. Some really aren't very nice. They really do take advantage of tourists. We heard a story recently of a taxi driver charging €42 in cash for a trip from Lisbon Airport to the centre, and when it should cost between 10 to 15 euros. Most taxis do not accept credit cards, so cash is normal, but being forced triple the price for the journey, no, that's not normal in the slightest. If you're going to take a taxi, please make sure that they put their meter on. It's illegal for them to operate without that meter operating. The meter is not on their phone, it is a meter within the cab. Also, our advice is take an Uber or Bolt. It's just easier, it's quicker, it's cheaper, and they're more pleasant.
Other than that, Lisbon is very much a very safe city. And with a little bit of street smarts, you're in for a great adventure. How to get around.
Getting around Lisbon is a breeze and it's all part of the fun. So start your adventure with the iconic Tram 28. It's like a roller coaster ride through the city's history. Lisbon Metro is sleek and efficient, perfect for zipping around town. Just grab a rechargeable Via Viagem card for easy peasy travel. Buses and ferries are also a fantastic way to see the city from different angles. Lisbon buses are efficient, clean and on time. Uber and Bolt are handy for longer distances if you have to take a taxi, which we advise to be the last option. But make sure that the meter's running, but always check before you hop in and ask for an estimated fare. You can also hop on a tuk-tuk. Again, you're going to be in the same situation. They might try and overcharge you, so always double check the price before you hop in.
Lisbon is a super small city in comparison to other European cities. You can actually walk from one end to the other in around 2 hours. However, you're going to hit some hills. Enjoy the ride and keep an eye on all your stuff, and you will be cruising through Lisbon like a pro. The best tourist attractions.
Tourist attractions are like a treasure chest of delights. Start with the iconic Tram 28 for a nostalgic ride through the city's most charming neighbourhoods. Then make your way to the Belém Tower and the monastery. Both are UNESCO gems with stories as rich as their architecture. For a taste of Lisbon's quirky side, you can either visit the Elche factory, or you can go to the opposite side of town and visit the Beato Creative Hub. Both are vibrant artsy districts full of cool shops and street art. Don't miss the Santa Justa elevator. It's not just an elevator, it's a vertical adventure with spectacular views. And finally, you can soak up the local vibe in Alfama, where you can enjoy the live fado music and tapas.
With so many dazzling sights and experiences, Lisbon really is your playground for an unforgettable experience. The best places to eat.
Lisbon is a foodie's playground, bursting with flavours that will make your taste buds dance. For a classic taste of Portugal, head to the Time Out Market. It's a foodie wonderland where you can sample everything from scrumptious pastéis de nata to inventive seafood dishes. But do be warned, they have tourist prices. If you're craving a cozy vibe, then our suggestions for areas to find yourself a lovely restaurant are Príncipe Real and Moraria. Here you can find some really cute little back street restaurants with a really nice affordable price.
Check out our restaurant recommendations here.
With these hotspots, your Lisbon food tour will be deliciously unforgettable.
Tips for beating the queue at the Santa Justa elevator.
The Santa Justa elevator is Lisbon's own little piece of steampunk magic. Picture this, a whimsical wrought iron tower that looks like it was plucked from a Victorian fairy tale. Soaring 48 metres high, this beauty, built in 1902, isn't just a quirky piece of architecture, it's a fantastic way to get from Baixa to the high-flying Chiado area in style. Hop on and enjoy a delightful ride with stunning views of Lisbon rooftops and the Tagus River. The elevator's charming interior and panoramic viewing platform at the top offer Instagram-worthy shots that'll make your friends back home green with envy. But heads up, that line can get long, and I mean long, especially during peak tourist season. So try to visit early or late in the afternoon, but you don't have to take the lift to get up to the viewing area. If you follow these directions, then we will show you the shortcut to get you up to the top in no time. If you're finding this content useful, please don't hesitate to like, share and subscribe. We would love to have you on board. But overall, trust me, the elevator ride and those breathtaking views are worth every minute of the wait if you want to queue. Tips for getting on the tram 28. Taking the tram 28 in Lisbon is like stepping into a living postcard. It's a ride full of charm and history. So here are a few tips to make your tram adventure a breeze. Firstly, aim to hop on as early as possible. The tram starts around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, so you will avoid the crowds and snag yourself a good seat. Avoid getting the tram at Martin Moniz if you can. As you can see, the queues are horrendous. If you can catch the tram from Campo Ourique, there's a much better chance of getting a seat, and also it gives you the opportunity to ride the entire route because there's much more to see than what's in central Lisbon. When you are on board, keep an eye on your belongings. The tram can get really packed. It is a tourist hotspot. The views of Alfama's winding streets and São João Castle are fantastic, but there's much more to see on the entire route of the tram 28. And don't forget you can pay via your Via Vasion card or a paper ticket, and this removes the hassle of buying a ticket on board, and it's much better value for money. Pastel De Natas and our tips for finding the best one. Craving the ultimate Pastel De Nata experience? Well, Lisbon has you covered with a creme de la creme of custard tarts. For a truly legendary treat, head to Pastéis de Belém. This iconic spot has been serving up sweet delights since 1837, and their natas are still baked to perfection. Expect a flaky golden crust filled with creamy, eggy goodness that will make you swoon. But if you're in the centre of town and you don't want to travel to Belém, then you should stop at Castro. This charming bakery in the heart of Lisbon is known for its irresistible pastéis de nata with a perfectly crisp shell and a filling that's delightfully creamy and just the right amount of sweet. They really are the best pastel de natas in Lisbon and in Porto. Grab a napkin and a pastel de nata and prepare for a delicious adventure through Lisbon's pastry paradise. Things to do for free in Lisbon. If you're in Lisbon on a budget and you're looking for the most amazing things to do that won't cost you a penny, our first recommendation is to grab a drink and sit by the waterfront. If you're ready to kick back and soak in Lisbon's riverside vibes, head to Cais de Sodré, where you'll find plenty of charming spots to relax and sip a drink. If you're craving a casual beer or a glass of wine, Esplanada Cafe is right on the water and perfect for unwinding. Watch the yachts as they sail by. So grab your favourite drink and find a cosy spot and let Lisbon's river breeze work its magic. Our second recommendation is to head to the Miradouros. Chasing sunsets in Lisbon is truly magical. For a breathtaking view, head to Miradouro de Santa Catarina. It's a fantastic spot where you can sip a drink and watch the sky paint itself in shades of pink and orange. But that's not the only Miradouro in Lisbon. There are plenty more that you can explore. So wherever you choose, grab yourself a comfy spot and let Lisbon's sunsets work their magic. Lisbon's beaches. Lisbon's beaches are like the city's sunny secret. Just a short trip from the urban hustle, they offer the perfect seaside escape. For a quick dip, head to Praia de Carcavelhas, just a 20-minute train ride from the centre with its golden sands and lively vibe. It's a local favourite for sunbathing and surfing. If you want something a little bit more tranquil, you can head across the river to Praia de Costa Rica. It's your go-to place. This expansive beach stretches for miles and miles. It's perfect for long walks and catching those spectacular sunsets. But remember your sunscreen, pack a picnic, and maybe even grab a Pastel De Nata to enjoy on the sands. The beaches in Lisbon are the ultimate easy getaway from the busy Lisbon city centre, blending relaxation with a splash of adventure. Day trips from Lisbon. Ready for some adventure beyond Lisbon's city limit? Buckle up for the day trips. You have to start with Sintra, obviously, and we'll go on to Sintra later, but you can also hit up Cascais, which is a charming coastal town with stunning beaches and seaside vibes. If you're a wine lover, then you have Setúbal and Sesimbra. It's your spot for fresh seafood and delicious local wines. For a touch of history and natural beauty, Évora boasts Roman ruins and a quirky chapel of bones. If you're looking for history and a taste of the waves, then you can go to Óbidos and to Peniche in one day. Each of these trips offers a unique taste of Portugal, so grab your camera and get ready for some fabulous exploring. If you're a huge surfer, then obviously you need to head to Ericeira, which is around 40 minutes from Lisbon, and it is a mecca for surfers. Tips for visiting Sintra. The secret is most definitely out about Sintra. These days it really is a tourist hotspot, and it can get extremely busy and pretty intense these days. So here are our top tips for making your visit to Sintra enjoyable. You need to start super early, especially on high season, and that goes from April until the end of October these days, because as we said, it gets packed. At 11 a.m, Sintra starts to attract huge numbers of people, so that just means that there's traffic and lines everywhere. So if you don't want to get stuck in traffic or lines and lose time with that, so wake up early and start your day around 9 o'clock. Don't drive to Sintra. If you've never been in the area before, Sintra really isn't for people that don't know where they're going. Most streets are one way, and sometimes if you take the wrong turn, you have to go all the way around the mountain to return to the same place, wasting a good 45 minutes. Many streets are narrow, and we mean super narrow, and some roads are forbidden for private cars, like the one that goes to Pena Palace. You can barely find a parking space. If you are determined to drive, then you can go to the parking space at Praça Dom Fernando II, and then you can take a Uber or Bolt into Sintra, which will cost you around 24 euros. But ideally, you should be looking at taking the train from Rocio. Bring a jacket. This is a trap that many people fall into. They think because it's hot in Lisbon, then it will be the same in Sintra. Well, no. Sintra has its own microclimate, and if it's hot in Lisbon, that means it's probably going to be cold in Sintra. So get ready, because you will freeze to death. Well, not quite to death, but you will be cold. Most of the summer, Sintra gets around 30 degrees, so a lot less than Lisbon and Cascais. So always bring a jacket or a sweatshirt. Sintra is not all about the Pena Palace or even Quinta Regaleira. There is so much more to see. Sintra is a county with more than 9 monuments that you can visit. So ideally, to see all of them, you're going to need at least 2 days in Sintra, and it's definitely worth it because Sintra is beautiful. Buy your tickets before. If you don't like waiting in lines or getting stuck outside waiting for your time slot turn, then you need to purchase your tickets in advance. This way you can go straight into the monuments and even enjoy a 15% discount. Pena Palace and Quinta Regaleira are the only ones with a time slot system. Don't miss the coast. The coastline in Sintra is not just exceptional, it is breathtaking. With its many beaches, villages on cliffs at Azenas de Mar and to the westernmost point of continental Europe, it's a sight that you don't want to miss. And you can also catch the Sintra tram from Sintra all the way to Azenas de Mar, which is a beautiful experience. Is Pena Palace worth it? Well, yes, we're a little bit biased. Pena Palace is the crown jewels of Sintra and a must-see for any adventurer. This vibrant fairy tale fortress looks like it's straight out of a storybook. Perched high on a hill with colours that pop like a box of crayons, its whimsical towers, lush gardens and panoramic views make it a feast for the eyes. The palace's blend of architectural styles is as eclectic as your wildest imagination. Be sure to wear your comfy shoes for exploring the nooks and crannies. Pena Palace isn't just a visit, it's a magical journey into a real realm of wonder.
Thank you for watching the ultimate tips for visiting Lisbon. Please don't hesitate to like, share and subscribe if you love our content, and we can't wait to see you next time on Activities in Portugal.